And we're back with our video sit-downs with the candidates. Cedric Allen off camera, on camera. And if I get this wrong, please correct me. Travis Couture?
Yep, Travis Couture.
Couture. Now, Travis is running for Mason County Commissioner, District 1, and you are a Republican, right?
Right.
All right, so let's tell everybody about Travis.
Well, I'm Travis Couture. I'm running for Mason County Commissioner, Position 1. I jumped into this race because I live in Phase 2 of the Belfair Sewer Project, and I'm seeing just a basic lack of respect from the current county commissioners to the community. Mason County has a big problem. We're a bedroom community. We have high unemployment. Businesses are going out of town or out of business, and we have a lot of state groups through the legislature that represent King County instead of Mason County, and that brings along a lot of things like the Growth Management Act, and that's one of the things I'm fighting. I believe in property rights and protecting those property rights because they're a basic right that we have, unalienable right. So when I jumped in the race, I did so because the Belfair Sewer is a violation of my property rights and the other people in the Phase 2 and Phase 1. I feel like government should not be telling me to put something on my property that I may or may not want. And if my septic is not polluting, then I don't think that it should be a big deal. I should have the choice, and I want to bring that choice back to Mason County, and I want to create a business environment that business owners can start producing jobs in this county, because we have a functional around 20% unemployment in Mason County, and that's unacceptable.
All right, Travis, let's get into the questions. What is the biggest issue or problem facing Mason County, and how do you plan to deal with it?
Well, I think the biggest issue in Mason County is like I just said, is property rights. So there's abuses of eminent domain, and the county goes in and they think they could take your land to do it as they see fit, and the central planning doesn't work. We got to stop the violation of the property rights, and we got to bring business into Mason County and stop being this bedroom community where we all commute outside of Mason County to go to work. Mason County shouldn't be a place where you just shop. It should be a place where we live and can work also. One of the things is we have a moratorium in Belfair since 2009 on new business, and that's completely unacceptable. When is it okay for a county to say no to new business and then complain about loss of revenue at the same time? So that's I think that's a huge problem. Business, unemployment, and property rights.
Okay, you mentioned revenue. How do you propose to increase tax revenues to support county services?
Well, I definitely do not support raising taxes whatsoever. I think that you should keep as much as your hard-earned money as possible, because you earned it and not the county or the government for that matter. And I think the best way to raise revenue is to create like I said, a good business climate and bring as much new business and jobs into Belfair or into Mason County as possible. That will increase revenue, and I would also like to cut some spending, find the waste in government. It's there. We all know it's there. We could find cheaper ways to do things, and I plan on doing that.
Do you have a specific plan to attract business and industry to Mason County, and can you summarize it for us?
I do. I think that we should have a predictable regulatory climate, get rid of some burdensome regulations and ordinances that are holding businesses back from coming in here, like the moratorium I just said, and maybe excuse me. And another thing we could do is once that's predictable, businesses will come in here and they'll create jobs. All this stuff will create revenue, and basically the reason why they're not coming in is because it's unpredictable. The permit process is ridiculous, and they look at this big mountain they have to scale, and they say, all right, medium to low income entrepreneurs are coming in saying, I've got great ideas, but then they have this forest they got to wade through all by themselves of regulations and county bureaucracy, and that stuff's got to stop. We have to streamline it. We got to cut out the things that don't work, and we just got to make it simple, and we got to make it business friendly. The county right now is not business friendly. I have a lot of business owners come to me One came to me the other day and said, I want to move my building from this place to across the street. And he went, and he's still spending days going from one county office to another, and they're all telling him a different story. It should be an easy thing for a business owner to go in to the county and say, here's exactly what I need to do. Here's a list step by step of what I need to do, and it should be all uniform just like that.
What is Mason County's single biggest need?
The single biggest need is jobs. When people don't have jobs, they become unproductive, and we get a loss of revenue in the county. And like I said, it's a lot of people say it's around 12%, but that doesn't account for the people that dropped out of the workforce. When people drop out of the workforce, it could be around 20% functional unemployment, and then the rest of the employed people, like I said, it's a bedroom community, so they go outside of the county to go work, and that's totally unacceptable. You know, it used to be you could do a lot of things here in the timber industry or in the fishing industry, and you can't do those things anymore because through different regulations and legislation and resolutions, we have took that away, took the rural community out of Mason County, and people don't want to work here or live here anymore, and they can't work here and live here. If you drive through a lot of places in Mason County, it seems like a ghost town, and that's because of bad economic policy. The best economic policy, I believe, is getting government out of the way. The smallest government rules best, I think. And once we get that out of the way and put people's money back in their pockets and just let the free market work. I'm a big free market fan. I believe in free enterprise, and I think that the most humane and best way to operate an economy is through the free market.
Final question for you, Travis. What is your vision for Mason County?
My vision for Mason County is really low unemployment, and another thing that we didn't really hit on. We got to start properly funding essential functions of government, like public safety. If we have one sheriff from Matlock to Greatview, that's unacceptable, and that's ineffective, and they can't even perform their mission to protect and serve the public. I want this to be a safe place to live. We've had a lot of murders lately and a lot of drugs into the community. I want Mason County to be a safe place to live. I want people to look at Mason County and say, that's a place where I want to go work, or that's a place where I want to go live. It's a beautiful community, or that's a place where I want to start my business and put down my roots. And I think once we do that, and the way we do it is we just bring it back down to a low-level government with a predictable regulatory environment and practice sound economics. And I think that just people doing what they want to do to create their own prosperity, that's my vision.
All right. Travis Couture, candidate for Mason County Commissioner District 1 and a Republican. Thanks for taking some time.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our next candidate in about 15, 20 minutes.